The summer of 2025 is witnessing one of the most notable battles in the European transfer market. Benjamin Šeško stands before two career-defining choices: Newcastle United and Manchester United. Both Newcastle and Manchester United see him the solution to their number 9 position. However, each choice offers a vastly different path. One offers a guaranteed starting spot in Champions League football immediately, while the other provides a global brand and the opportunity to become a superstar. So, what is the ideal destination for Ziko at this pivotal stage of his career? Benjamin Šeško is one of the most prominent young strikers in Europe today. He began his career at his hometown club Domzale before joining the Red Bull Salzburg Academy. After a loan spell at FC Liefering, Ziko made his first team debut for Salzburg in 2020 at just 17 years old, quickly impressing with his goal-scoring ability, ideal physique, and sharp movement. In the summer of 2023, he moved to RB Leipzig, with expectations of becoming the German club's future center-forward. Over 2 seasons, Ziko scored 39 goals in 87 matches, with 21 goals and 6 assists in the 2020-25 season alone. In terms of playing style, Ziko is a modern center-forward with exceptional speed, aggressive pressing, and strength in aerial duels. He is particularly effective in counter-attacking situations due to his intelligent off-the-ball runs and one-touch finishing. However, Zeko's weakness lies in his inconsistency in finishing under pressure, especially against low-block defenses. He needs to improve his close-range ball control and maintain composure in the penalty area if he aims to become a world-class striker. Newcastle United are preparing for a major overhaul of their attacking line, with their star player Alexander Isak almost certain to join Liverpool for a fee that could reach £150 million, and Callum Wilson having already left the club. In this context, Benjamin Šeško emerges as the most direct and promising replacement for the center-forward role. If this transfer materializes, Ziko would almost certainly become Newcastle's number 1 striker immediately, without facing significant competition for a starting spot. Under manager Eddie Howe, Newcastle typically play a 4-3-3, occasionally switching to a 4-2-3-1. In this system, the central striker role is heavily emphasized. With the support of pacey wingers like Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon, Ziko is perfectly suited to the spearhead role in this setup. He can exploit spaces behind opposition defenses during Newcastle's counterattacks while also serving as the target for crosses from the flanks. If Newcastle sell Isak to Liverpool for up to £150 million, they will have a substantial budget to reinvest in the squad, with RB Leipzig valuing Benjamin Šeško at around £70 million. This is a figure well within Newcastle's reach, especially with the strong financial backing from their Saudi owners. The club may not stop at Ziko, and could also bring in other high-potential players to bolster squad depth. Unlike Manchester United, Newcastle have secured qualification for the 2025-26 Champions League, which is a significant advantage in convincing a young talent like Ziko. Playing in the Champions League allows players to compete at the highest level, opening doors to elevate their reputation, increase their transfer value, and attract interest from Europe's elite clubs in the future. However, opportunities come with significant risks. First, the pressure to replace Alexander Isak is immense. At his young age, Ziko may struggle to carry the attack with little time to adapt. Second, Newcastle's tactical setup is not yet fully stable. They previously failed to sign Hugo Ekitike, and their form last season dipped at times. Additionally, Newcastle's current squad lacks depth, especially when competing across multiple fronts like the Premier League, Champions League, and domestic cups. Without sufficient quality reinforcements, Ziko risks being burned out prematurely or isolated in an incomplete attacking system. As for Manchester United, they have had a busy summer with 2 major signings: Matheus Cunha from Wolves and Brian Mbeumo from Brentford. However, neither of these new arrivals is a classic center-forward. Cunha often plays as a second striker or attacking midfielder, while Mbeumo's strength lies on the right wing. This means Manchester United's attack still lacks a true number 9, a role Benjamin Šeško could fill, with Rashford having left. On loan to Barcelona and Højlund maintaining poor form, Ziko has a clear opportunity to compete for a starting spot. If he performs well in training and early season matches, he could win the trust of Ruben Amorim and the fans. Especially in a Manchester United attack that needs a pressing, counter-attacking spearhead, Ziko fits the bill under Amorim. Manchester United are shifting toward a more modern style of play, focusing on proactive possession, fluid transitions, and pressing perfectly suited to a striker like Ziko. Moreover, the Portuguese manager is renowned for giving opportunities to young players and developing them into key pillars, as he did at Sporting Lisbon. In fact, Ziko has been on Manchester United's radar since he was 16, when he was still playing for Red Bull Salzburg. Their pursuit of him in the summer of 2025 is not a spontaneous move, but part of a long-term plan. If he joins, Ziko would become a crucial component in the Red Devils' rebuild. It cannot be denied that Manchester United remain one of the strongest global football brands. Playing at Old Trafford is an honor and a significant opportunity for personal development. For a young player like Ziko, succeeding at United could make him the face of the club's future. He would also have the chance to learn from experienced players like Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. The Premier League is an ideal environment for a centre-forward to hone skills, from physical battles to finishing under high pressure. With Manchester United's global media influence, Ziko could rise to international stardom if he fulfills his potential. However, the biggest obstacle for Manchester United right now is finances. After spending €133.5 million onto new signings, the club's transfer budget is severely limited. Leipzig's £70 million asking price for Ziko is beyond their current means unless they offload players. Rashford's loan departure has not generated funds, and without selling players like Sancho, Antony, or Malaysia, the Ziko deal is unlikely to be completed this summer. Weighing the two options, Newcastle and Manchester United, Benjamin Šeško's decision will largely depend on what he prioritizes in the next stage of his career: regular playing time immediately or the potential to become a global superstar in the near future. If he prioritizes professional development and a stable role, Newcastle is clearly the better destination. With Alexander Isak set to leave, Ziko would have a near-guaranteed starting spot as the #1 striker in Eddie Howe's 4-3-3 system. The less pressured environment compared to Old Trafford would allow Ziko to develop naturally and sustainably. However, if he prioritizes prestige and silverware, Manchester United would be the ideal springboard to catapult Ziko to international stardom, though the competition is high and his starting spot is not guaranteed. Proving his ability could see him claim the true #9 role that Manchester United lack. Playing at Old Trafford, learning from major stars, and catching the eye of global media would help him develop comprehensively in both skill and image. From a neutral perspective, Newcastle is an ideal stepping stone for the next 2 to 3 years, but may not sustain Champions League consistency long-term. Meanwhile, despite financial constraints, Manchester United have a clear rebuilding plan under Ruben Amorim, whose modern football philosophy suits a tall, fast, and dynamic striker like Ziko. If he's willing to embrace the challenge, Manchester United offers greater long-term potential. The most critical factor for Ziko right now is not which club he chooses, but which environment will help him forge his mentality and playing identity in today's football world, where media pressure, tactical shifts, and fan expectations can weigh heavily on any young player. A wrong decision could stall an entire career. Therefore, it's not just about a lucrative contract or promises from a manager. Ziko must ask himself, what kind of player does he want to become? Is he ready to be patient, learn, and gain experience in a highly competitive environment? Or will he choose a less bumpy path to accumulate playing minutes? In the coming years, European football will see a strong generational shift in attacking talent, presenting a golden opportunity for Ziko to establish himself as part of the new generation of center forwards Whether he chooses Manchester United or Newcastle, his success will not depend on the club but on his own ability to adapt, learn, and break through.